Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the CURFEWBOYS podcast. Myself, Sammy, with my boy Zook. How are you, buddy?
Hey now.
Not too bad.
Just don't tell my boss I'm doing this while I work.
I'm going to work I'm going to be leaving for work in about 2 hours from now. But no, your secret's safe with me. A bit of an unusual time for us to record. I think this is probably the second time that we record in the afternoon. We are Tuesday afternoon, November 12th, and just over 24 hours of a Montreal Canadiens victory for once.
Actually, it's fitting because the game yesterday was also in the afternoon. So.
It was at 12:30 on a very rare time and weird time to have the Montreal Canadiens play at 12:30 in the afternoon on November 11th out of all days.
I must say, Sammy, though, I don't mind afternoon games.
I mean, I don't mind them either while I have the day off. So
But even if you work at home or if you know, or something like that, you have it in the background. It makes the day really.
I guess so.
Really nice. It was a good day yesterday. So.
I guess so. Yeah, I definitely see the point. And they won on top of it too. What a day yesterday was. And I mean, it was such a crazy sequence of events on Monday, November 11th, and before we actually get to those events, and I'm not just talking about the Montreal Canadiens, I'm talking about the so-called scoop that was revealed before the game. There was a Hockey Hall of Fame ceremony after the game. But before we get into all of that, I know we're recording this episode on November 12th, that it's going to be released on November 12th. November 11th is a day that, as a Canadian, as a proud Canadian, I keep close to my heart. November 11th which is obviously Remembrance Day here in Canada, and it's something that I keep close to the heart. The day of remembering, and just thinking about what the brave men of our nation, of our Canadian Army, did during not just World War I, but in World War II. Sacrificing their lives.
We wouldn't be here, man. We would not.
We wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't have the freedom that we have today.
There you go.
So it's you take the time, you take the day to reflect and remember the sacrifice that was done in the very name of freedom, and not just that, but we also thank our men and women that serve this country, in the name of freedom as well. So to them, we salute.
What game was it when they were? I think it was against the Toronto game, right? Where they had the ceremony before the game.
Yep.
Where they were showing all the soldiers that were.
Well, Montreal did it. Yeah, Montreal did their ceremony. They had their Veterans Day, or their our Army the Army Day. Excuse me for lack of a better term here.
Yeah.
But Toronto, the actual pregame ceremony, that I have to say. I joke around about Toronto Maple Leafs pregame ceremonies being boring and all that. I have to say, the way they honored some of the veterans that are like 100 years old and such, they did a fantastic job, and kudos goes to the Toronto Maple Leafs organization for honoring the veterans.
It's the only time that I'm going to say kudos to that. And I don't know if you paid attention to the actual not storylines, but the stories or the bios of the certain people that were there.
Oh, dude. What?
And something I noticed, which was we'll never see this within this new generation or the future generation. But most of those kids they lied saying that they were of age to get into the soldier.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
And that's to show you the passion that they have for their country.
Well, it's pride, and dude, nobody talks about this a lot, but a lot of those young men fell into a depression, and I think some of them even took their own lives because they were so depressed and sad that they couldn't serve their country.
Right.
Like how messed up is that? You might you're at risk of taking your own life because of depression, because you can't, because you're not at risk of dying in a war. Like that's mind-boggling to me. 100%. But there was one story of one of the veterans that the Leafs brought on. He still has like shrapnel in his leg to this very day. that to me is like I like, man.
Dude.
Well, the level of mental strength that those men went through during the wars and what our men and women go through now to serve their country, it's something that no, like I don't think I can't, and that's why my heart and love goes out to everyone that's served their country in the past, served their country now, and who would love to serve their country in the future. Yeah, absolutely. Like we totally salute you, absolutely. So yeah, so that was a start. That was yesterday at 11 o'clock at the 11th hour, the 11th minute. We take a moment of silence. But then the big scoop that I love Georges Laraque. I love him. I really, really do. I love his passion for the game of hockey and his passion and love for the Montreal Canadiens. You could tell he's a diehard Habs fan like all of us. But he hyped everybody the night before with his quote unquote scoop or inside info. And I'm sure everybody in Habs Nation right now knows a story that a buddy of his spotted Marty St. Louis, Kent Hughes in a coffee shop with former coach Gerard Gallant. And, now that it was revealed that Kent Hughes came out, said, yeah, guys, this is not true at all. Like we did not meet up with Gerard Gallant. We were in a coffee shop with Adam Nicholas, I believe it was. Marty and I we were with Adam Nicholas. We did not meet with Gerard Gallant.
He's the development trainer, right?
He's one of the development coaches. Yeah, exactly. He does. Okay, so in Georges Laraque's friend's defense, at a distance,
yeah,
I could see him mixing up the two. Like they kind of look similar, maybe from far. He said he is bald, and Adam Nicholas is bald, has no hair, but whatever, fine. And anyways, all that to say is that Georges Laraque took so much fucking heat. Oh my God, like. Yeah, and he practically got not outcasted, but Jesus Christ, the whole fan base went after him. It's like, yo, people, calm down, man. Are you and George, and I listened to Georges Laraque today on his French radio station, and he said it. He's like, I got that news, I got that info, and I got excited because for a while now, the not just him. The entire debate amongst the Montreal Canadiens fan base is Marty needs an experienced coach to help him out as an assistant or as an advisor or as a whatever the heck you want to call it.
Assistant. I would see another assistant coming in.
But we've all been saying that. Like maybe it is. Maybe it's something the Canadiens need to look into. Georges Laraque got that info and he got excited because it's been a main topic amongst this whole entire city. So of course, maybe in hindsight, now that the water's calmed down a little bit, maybe he should have really asked and investigated into it. Yeah, maybe he shoulda, coulda, woulda, blah blah fucking blah. It's like, man, you know what? Yeah, okay. It's disappointing. It's like, oh my God, it wasn't true. Okay, as a fan, it's like, it kind of was like. It was very he hyped it up, man, on Twitter. I have a scoop. It's going to make Habs fans happy and all that. He didn't do it on fucking purpose. He really, he thought his friend was giving him legit stuff. And it happens. It happens where you hear things, you get so excited because it's something you really want. You believe that could help. It happens. People. Okay. It's one thing. It's the so-called scoop that turned out to be nothing is very disappointing. No problem at all. I could empathize with that. I felt the same way too when I heard inside was nothing. But to go out and criticize George, all this, people, if this so-called unfortunate fake news or accidental fake news really gets you upset to the point where you have to take time out of your day to go crazy, bro, either your life is so perfect, send us the fucking recipe, or you know what? And think of this, dude, Zook, everybody that criticized Georges Laraque and said things about him, they don't even have the balls to say it to his face. They don't have the balls. So these Tommy texters, these snowflakes hiding behind the safety of their phones, It's like, shut up. Just shut.
Honestly, I wish all of our fan base, well, not our fan base, but the Montreal Canadiens fan base has that point of view that you just explained. You know,
Dude, I'm all about
you're right, 'cause
perspective.
it's all-
I'm not about perception. I'm all about perspective. I'm trying to
Yeah.
I try to put myself in the other person's shoes. And again, I could empathize and put myself in other fans' shoes in the sense that, oh my God, that's very disappointing. Like you hyped us up. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. It's like, but again, think about Georges Laraque's side. He's not gonna do this on purpose just to be like, got you guys, psych.
No, but
Fake news, fake news. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna do that on purpose. Like he thought it was
No.
legit. It's a friend that he probably trusts, and shit happens. People make mistakes. People misjudge something, or they thought they saw someone who wasn't them. It happens. But tabarnak, everybody, like just calm down a little bit. Like social media has driven people off the fucking deep end.
yeah.
And whatever.
Yeah,
People.
that's why I'm not on Twitter, dude. Or X,
Good.
whatever.
Stay away from Twitter. There's so
Honestly.
many snowflakes on there, and just it's okay. There's good people on Twitter, and we recognize the good ones that follow us on Twitter and such. And we have good conversations, good debates, but we keep it at that. Like, there's one play I got to mention in the game, but like that has to do with Twitter. So, like somebody's there is like, oh, you guys have no idea. Like you have no idea, let alone like your podcast name. You have no idea which it's like, buddy. Like say that to any of our faces. Like we're gonna fucking tuck your tail between your legs. Like don't even try us. But it's okay. And he was a paisano too. On top of that,
Yeah, you know what? They're the ones who like to press the buttons.
Yeah, exactly. He's also a Colts fan, so he's having a hard time. But anyways, all that happened before the game. Then it's like, okay, like he announced it at 12 because that's when Georges Laraque's show starts. So the Canadiens start the game at 12:30 against the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo. And the final score of 7-5.
Mm-hmm.
I have very mixed emotions about this game. Now, yeah, like to me,
I was really happy. Okay, so
go.
before the game started, Sam, who sent me the link? I think it was one of you guys, or maybe it was somebody else. They sent me the link of like the Habs line changes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh my God. Great point to start it off. Yeah.
That's exciting. I was like, okay, cool. I see the mind or the thought behind it, trying to put some balance within the lines, depth, if you will. And when I saw the first period, they came out pretty well, the Canadiens.
Well, they did.
And I was like, ooh, okay, there's some sort of attacking, chemistry going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. And of course, the game, as we all know, the scores, the offense was there. Defense, I was like, okay, they're playing decently. There's Lane Hudson playing fantastic.
He was oh my God,
Matheson
this kid
as well. But the common thread of the games, I would say, the last month and a half, goaltending. It seems to be that's letting us down because there's a few goals that go in and you can see the team sort of deflating when it happened. Luckily, they didn't really, fall into those traps like they did in the old games.
Yes,
but
they showed resilience this game. They really did.
And the first line, not the first line, but the players that you would have thought need to be scoring game in and game out were there. So that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens when the players that are supposed to be scoring.
So the line changes. I'm so happy you start with that because my God, when's the last time we saw Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki not play together? I don't remember.
I didn't mind it, dude. I didn't mind it.
You know what? So that top line was Nick Suzuki with Uri Slafkovsky and Kirby Dach. Second line, Jake Evans with Cole Caulfield and Alex Newhook. And I'm on the same page. I'm on the same page as you. You know what? It was a big line change for a lot of guys.
Big time.
At least those guys within the top six, and it worked. And I read somewhere that Marty explained to both Nick and Cole that sometimes they had to separate during Marty's time with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They had to separate him from Vinny Lecavalier to kind of spark, not for those two particular players to get a spark. Yeah, in general, yeah, but it's for others around them to have a bit of a spark. And it worked. It kind of worked. And I don't think Marty is getting enough credit for that, in my opinion. Maybe he is, and I just haven't seen it. But I kind of get the sense that
it's not credit, Sam.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it is in my eyes.
About anymore. That's the big difference.
Oh my God, that's such a good point too.
Had they lost, ils ont changé les lignes, mais ça n'a pas fonctionné.
Maybe, but I also I cannot agree with you more about the goaltending right now. And you know what? At the beginning of the game, before the game started, like the Curfew Boys on Instagram, we put a story feeling a W today. And I'm so happy we were right. I felt the win coming. But I didn't. But like, my goodness, it's crazy how, and they made the announcement that Caden Primo is going to get the start, and I felt like if he wins this game, it's going to be good for his confidence. It's going to be good for everybody's confidence on the team. It'll be a good boost for them. But man, right now, and I'm not just going to blame Caden Primo. I'm going to blame Sam Montembeault a little bit too. And when I say blame, I don't mean blame, but I'm going to. Unfortunately, it starts with them. It starts with the goaltending. And right now, both of them, they can't seem to really make that game-changing save right now. No. Like, there's some goals that Caden Primo yesterday, I mean, like, only one goal out of the 5 was scored in, like, the dangerous area. Mm-hmm. That's not good. It's not good. When 4 out of 5 goals are scored in a non-threatening or non-dangerous area, man, oh man, it's like. And Sam Montembeault, like, he's obviously been the better goalie out of the two, but the only game he stole was the season opener against the Toronto Maple Leafs at the Bell Center. That was the only game he stole. Maybe he played a good game too against the Ottawa Senators. Like within the game. I think it was the third game when the Canadiens won 4-1 against the Senators. Like, he played well too that game, but that's about it. That's about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think they're going to call up Dobes?
Well, right now
not worth wasting.
So
their 5.
So like Colorado put Kakkonen on waivers and was claimed by Winnipeg Jets. I also saw who else? Like there's a couple of goalies now that are being placed on waivers, and so the big question is here. Like, I have it right here on my phone. Capo Kakkonen, the Winnipegs claim him. Where else did I see on Twitter? I think James Reimer was sent on waivers.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's being a big question. They didn't want to do it last year. They didn't want to send Caden Primo through waivers at the risk of losing him. I don't know, dude. Like, if they were to do it now, like, would he get claimed? I don't know. And Primo? I would. I'm wondering if they should send him down or put him on waivers and bring up Dobes. But I love what's going on with the Laval Rockets right now. That I don't know. I don't
break that streak. I wouldn't want to.
I don't want that either. Like, can we let the boys in the minors or in the farm team? Can we let them win and have fun while they're winning?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a question. I'm not like, yes, teams
in view of the development of those players. Yes, it's best if they would stay there, continue building on that train there that they're building over in Laval, which is fantastic this year.
Yeah.
Even the coach is doing a stellar job.
Dude, Pascal Vincent,
I'm really
man,
glad,
wow.
Man. I had some like reservations on him, but I actually prefer him more than who they had there. What's his name? Hood.
Yeah, not JF Hood.
Yeah, that's it. Hood. I always thought he wasn't the right coach for that team, but now it's like,
you know what, JF Hood is not a. I don't think he's a coach that. No. Should be in a franchise that's rebuilding. You get what I'm saying? I don't think he's a bit of a rebuilding coach in a sense. It's weird.
No.
Like, he's good with, like, he prefers veteran players, like guys that are 25, 26, 27, that this might be their last chance to make an impression, try to get called up and go to the show. Like, I feel like he suits more those types of players than young guys starting their pro careers, starting their first year in the minors. That's the feeling I get. And that doesn't mean that Pierre GFO, excuse me, I get mixed up with Pierre Hood, who got the broadcaster award. Pierre Hood's a legend and well deserved, by the way. GFO, like I feel like it doesn't mean he's a bad coach. I just feel I got the sense that he favored more veterans on the team than these young rookies coming in.
Even more on the surface, like you could just hear the way one speaks versus the other. You hear what's his name? Pascal Vincent.
Yeah, Pascal Vincent. Yeah,
he sounds like he's like from the vein of Marty. You know what I'm saying?
Like, 1,000%. They're on the same page. They're on the same. They're on the same page, and they bring the same culture. Just right now, one has a bit of a losing streak, and the other one has a bit of a winning streak. So, but all that to say is, and I keep wondering, like Caden Primo's gig. I've said it from the beginning, man. Like they only signed him 1 year. Did they sign him? Whatever the contract length was, it's like.
This year.
But that's the thing. Like again, they're waiting for Jacob Fowler to come, who's got another shutout, 3 shutouts already, and we're only in the month of November. It's like 7 or 6-1, so 7 or 6-1, dude. Like he's got a winning record, and. You know what I mean? Like they're waiting for him. He's insane. Like Jacob Fowler, and he has
it's like .950, dude.
Like, and he's got he's got a team in front of him with James Higgins, who, man, before the Canadiens win, everybody was back on Tankathon trying to see if we get James Higgins or Porter Marteau. You know what I mean? Like it's. But you telling me we're still because the Canadiens were at the bottom of the league before yesterday's game. Now you're telling me we get to win and still be tied at the bottom of the league and a chance for a high pick? Hey man, I'm all for that. If the Canadiens could win but still have a better chance at a top pick, I'm all for that. But all jokes aside, dude, I don't know where the fate of Caden Primo is going to. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's going to get traded unless they pick up another goalie either through waivers or whatever and try to trade Primo or send him to. I don't know. But you want to know this is what makes me laugh a little bit, and it could possibly happen. Look at Charlie Lindgren right now.
Fuck yeah, yes.
What if Caden Primo's a Charlie Lindgren one day, just not with the Canadiens? And this Anthony said this many times. Like Anthony truly believes Caden Primo could excel in the NHL, just not with the Canadiens. And he might be onto something. Maybe
Charlie Lindgren wasn't terrible with the Canadiens, dude.
No, he wasn't, but it just wasn't happening. He needed a chance elsewhere, and it took him a while, but he finally got it. And so it's
I don't know, man, what it is with Primo, man. Like, you know how goaltending
Primo's confidence. It's been confidence for seasons now.
Goaltending is a lot of this, dude.
Oh my God, is it ever? Oh, is it ever?
I don't see him having that mental strength. Like Montembeau's a little more. I see more.
Montembeau is. I think so. Montembeau. There's times where he seems Yeah, but Dobesh is. It's. I want Dobesh and I want Joshua Roy and I want Logan Mailloux to keep killing it in Laval. I want them keep them together. Let them fight for the top of the league for a playoff spot and even for a Calder championship. Let them do that. It's going to be so good for them. I know we want to see them with the Canadiens. I do, but it's like I want to see them get success first.
They're going to come.
So like I said, man, there was a couple of goals where like Caden Primo, all he had to do was just he had to give that big save because let's be honest here, we gotta talk about the captain. We have to talk about Nick Suzuki right now.
Yeah, like
him and Slav that suddenly, and throwing Kirby Dach too, that last minute of the second period just decided to be like, no, we're going to go grab the bull by the horns. And beast from Slav, beast shift from Slav and Suzuki too.
3 points.
And good,
Slav.
good. And you know, good on Kirby Dach for starting those plays, you know, getting the secondary assist. But man, Slav, 3 points, 3 assists. Like that last minute, he just decided to like, fuck it, I'm going to turn it on. Him and Suzuki, they're both at the right place, the right time. Suzuki sniped it. Dude, right. Nick Suzuki yesterday was the second game where he decided to fucking lead. And when I you know what I mean? Yeah. The only other game I can remember is that embarrassing loss against the New York Rangers where Suzuki was the only one that played well. But then this game, 4 points, like 4 points, man. 2 goals, 2 assists. He could have got a hat trick at the end there. That little misplay with him and Anderson that Dvorak ended up scoring the empty net. But Nick Suzuki and even at some point Juraj Slafkovsky, they grabbed the bull by the horns and they said, no, we're not gonna fucking lose this game. You know what I mean? So another guy we got to credit is Cole Caulfield for scoring important goals on the power play. League leading, by the way. He's at what? He's at 12 goals now? Leads for 12 goals. Just 12 goals, just ahead of Kucherov, Sam Reinhart, William Nylander, and Tage Thompson, who scored, fucking just overpowered him yesterday. Poor Cole. Like, what could he do against a guy that's 6'5"? Like, poor guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you talked about Lane Hudson, though.
Look, he's at 10 points, Lane Hudson, in 16 games.
Yeah.
Now,
third amongst rookies.
On pace for like the end of the year. Like, what do you? Okay, dude.
I'm taking out my calculator. Keep going.
Before the beginning of the season, I said he's going to get minimum 50 points. I think he's well on his way for that.
They're how many games now? 15 or 16?
16.
They're at 16 games. He's on pace for 51.25 points.
There you go.
So
if he gets 50 points, because to me, in my eyes, a 50-point defenseman is
as a rookie, that's amazing.
In general, dude, a 50-point D-man is a valuable player for the team.
Andre Markov had a lot of 50-point seasons.
There you go. So
PK Subban
in his first rookie, if he could get it now, like in his first year, wait.
The sky's the limit.
Wait.
Meanwhile, Cole is on pace for 62 goals. We haven't had a 60-goal scorer since, my goodness, let's go with Steve Shutt. I think maybe Steve Shutt. Stéphane Richer had 2 50-goal seasons. Yeah. And by the way, Brendan Gallagher is tied in most goals in a Montreal. He's tied with Stéphane Richer in a Montreal Canadiens uniform. Like, how the heck does that happen? How does Brendan Gallagher tie in goals in history of goal scoring within the Montreal Canadiens organization with Stéphane Richer, the last 50-goal scorer of this team?
I still like him a lot, man. As a player.
I do too. But I still maybe that contract is worthy now, just the way he's playing. Maybe
continue it.
Just saying.
I could see him scoring near 20 goals this year. He's on pace for that.
Yeah, maybe. I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if he reaches 15. I'd be very surprised if he reaches 20. But anything's possible. I want to go back to Lane Hudson, and I think the general consensus now, not just within Habs Nation, but I think the league is like, Lane Hudson should be on the number 1 power play for the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, I know.
Like you know what but I also believe, I'm going to say this, and I get why we're going with 4 forwards, 1 defense, because we don't have anybody else besides Hudson and Matheson to be on the power play.
Right.
But in an ideal world, personally, I would love to have both Matheson and Lane Hudson as the defense pairing on the first power play. But it's also something they got to think about, because Patrick Laine is skating. And when he comes back, who are going to be the 4 forwards on that first power play? You're going to have to take one of them out if you're going to keep one defenseman.
Laine, I see him coming back. Look, he even skated today, and I saw some.
He skated. Yep, he's skating. Yep.
It looks like, we're what now? We're the 12th?
Yep, November 12th.
I give him probably before the new year. So like that, Christmas time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He might be around. Some are speculating he might be back like early December. It depends. I really don't know.
I'll do that Winnipeg game, eh?
Are you? Oh my! Wow! Can you imagine? That's when he comes back against the team that drafted him.
He might come back sooner, but I'm gonna watch. But I think it's the first game against Winnipeg.
Laney, yeah, okay, that would be awesome. But which forward do you take out? Like, you can't take out Suzuki. You can't take out Caulfield. Do you take out Slav? Do you take out Doc? I'd personally put Doc on the second power play. My personal opinion.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I don't know either. But Mike Matheson got criticized a lot, and him too. Like I think one of the problems amongst the defensemen and amongst Mike Matheson is I think they're just overthinking. He's trying to do everything.
Yes.
He's really, really, really trying to do everything. And that one goal where both him and Gooley were on the right side, but Gooley was the last man back, and Gooley should have shifted a bit towards the left. But because Matheson saw nobody on the left, that's why he started.
He's doing too much.
He is. I really think he is, and it doesn't matter if Matheson's a left hand on the left side or on the he's lefty or right D. If Caden Gooley's the last man back and he sees that Matheson's on the right, Gooley has to shift a little bit towards the left or at least take the middle of the ice. And there's got to be communication there. It was obviously a little bit of a brain fart from the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's not the Marty system that's causing it. It's just players that are just making these mental errors.
It's mental, yeah.
It's mental errors. Like I've been looking a lot at Arbor Jacki and how he's been playing lately, and his ice time has been limited, and it's okay. Everywhere that Arbor Jacki is always at the right place at the right time. The problem with him lately is when he has the puck, he's not exactly sure what to do with it. I find recently, like when instead of like just clear, like he either when he tries to clear it, probably doesn't put enough force, or he clears it on the wrong side.
I've noticed that clearing aspect where, like, yeah, I think you said it. He's clearing it too soft, and then it goes into the next player.
Yeah, it gets intercepted.
Intercepted, and then
but he's always at the right place. He could win the battles in the corners. He wins. His positioning is better. It's just when he has the puck, him too. It doesn't seem to have that confidence yet of how to clear it and when to clear it and who to clear it to. That's one thing I've noticed. You could put in Jaden Struble on that too. Lane Hudson is going to make mistakes, but he's just so freaking dynamic. He's so good, though. It's unreal.
Plays he does at the blue line.
He's unreal, man. He's unbelievable. Dude,
stick to stick and
like
hard.
Sharp. That's how we like it. So
exactly.
Yeah, dude. Like it's right now. I don't think the man-on-man system or zone protective system, whatever. I just feel like it's these mental errors because of lack of confidence and just overthinking. It's the same thing over and over again. But we got to look at the positives too. It's like they scored 7 goals. You got a goal from Josh Anderson, which was on a breakaway which was awesome. Caulfield 2 goals, Suzuki 2 goals. Who else scored?
Slav plays.
Slavkovsky with the 3 assists. Doc. Kirby Doc with the 2 assists.
Doc has had a pretty solid last 4 games. I would say. He's looking a little better than at the start.
But again, he's looking, dude. I don't know if he's fully recovered yet. I don't think he's 100% strong on the leg that he got injured. I really don't, because he looks a step behind a little bit. When he tries to accelerate, he looks like he can't take off at the speed that he's probably capable of. But having said that, he looks a lot more comfortable on the wing when he plays with Suzuki. One guy that I was like, you know what, he's gotta be benched for a game. I want to say Emil Heineman, but he scored a big fucking goal, man, and he's got a wicked shot.
He really does.
So
he really does.
I still believe, and I'm going to say this, I still believe the Canadiens are missing a proper fourth line, a proper energy line. And that's where I want Pezzetta to come in, because I think he could do that. I really think he could provide that energy.
Yeah. I could see also Kent Hughes trying to get a player with that profile.
Maybe.
Not profile, but like with that energy, third, fourth liner with grit, strength, speed.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if Condotta's the one there.
I like Condotta, but I don't think he's making that much of a difference.
No.
We were hoping. He brings energy. Yeah, he's gonna hit, but I still think out of anyone in Laval that could do the same job or better, I still think it's Luke Tuck. I really, really do. But I love what him and Florian Jacki are doing in Laval. I really do. And I want to keep it. I want Condotta to go back to the minors, but they need Pezzetta in the lineup, and they're gonna have to find another player. I don't know. I want Pezzetta in the lineup. I really, really do. I want him in there because I think he could bring that energy.
Why don't they bring up a Luke Tuck?
That's a good question. Maybe they will. They will eventually. I just think, but again, it's why don't they bring up a Luke Tuck? You could also why don't they bring up a Joshua Roy who's playing amazing? I really think, I truly believe, Zook, they want to take their time bringing young guys back up because they're winning together.
Yeah, well, that's
what I think. And I mean, who knows? We're only in November. It's already game 15, 16. Usually we said by the game 15, 16, we'll judge where the Canadiens are going to be. And right now they're at the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, but it's close, Sammy. 2 more wins and they're almost at 500. So,
things could change. But if they don't change soon, this is what it's going to be, in my opinion.
Listen, I'm all good for a nice top 5 overall pick.
I think we could get a good one this year if we do. Maybe the last
even if it's not a generational player, but it's but like you said, a missing piece or an additional piece. It's never too much,
dude.
It's never too much.
Either Porter Martone, James Higgins, Michael Misa is tearing it up in the OHL.
It's never too much, man.
We'll see. You can never have too many centermen. Michael Hayes is doing well. Dude, you want to have a good problem. We were all raving about, we have all this surplus of defensemen, and it's a good problem. But yet, look, we're struggling defensively.
Yeah.
So
honestly, okay. So the injury of Reinbacher.
Oh, that still hurts to this day, just because the way Laval is playing now. But it is what it is, unfortunately.
It could definitely bite us. But
hopefully not. But we'll see. We're gonna end it with the Shea Weber session. The Shea Weber session. Shea Weber officially inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Former Montreal Canadiens captain. Before Nick Suzuki. Personally, there's that whole debate whether he deserves it or not. He never won a Norris Trophy, never won a Stanley Cup. But it's like, if you look at what he did for the game of hockey, he's a memorable defenseman with one of the hardest shots. He's an all-star. He's a Stanley Cup finalist. He's a gold medal champion, both the Olympics, World Cup of Hockey, World Juniors. He's kind of won everything except the Stanley Cup. You know what I mean?
Ask any other player. You could ask Sidney Crosby, who he's played with in Team Canada. Mm-hmm. You could ask any opposing player that played or knew Shea Weber. They always comment about his leadership abilities, his how he is in the community, or how he basically supports himself. He
conducts himself. Yeah,
he conducts himself. He's definitely, in my opinion, in his leadership abilities, just that alone is worthy of a Hall of Fame induction.
Dude, did you see all of them? The ones that on the Canadiens right now that went to the finals with him, they all flew to Toronto just to be there. That to me says something.
Dude, Nick Suzuki learned a lot of his leadership skills based on looking at a Shea Weber.
1,000%. So did Cole Caulfield. Dude,
Caulfield too.
Caulfield, Suzuki, Gallagher, Armia, Carey Price was there. Ben Sherratt flew in to go be Ben Sherratt and Jeff Petrie went to go see him. It's like, there's a reason why. I don't care if anybody says he wasn't a good captain for the Canadiens because he didn't do this or did. It's like, stop it. Dude, his body was beyond wrecked and destroyed, and he had nothing left. This guy was basically Darth Vader, and he still led the Canadiens and helped them go to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know, busted ankle, wrist, hand. Fucking, I think ribs. Dude, everything of him was broken. But my goodness,
he still played like that,
and he played like a fucking beast. Anybody who criticizes him, there's no way in hell you could do what he did to play at that level. I'm sorry, I don't care who I offend saying that. It's dude, no.
Ask any coach in the NHL and ask them if they would want a Shea Weber in their team. They would all say yes.
Dude, they would all say yes.
And for that reason, he's
1,000%. Dude, when Shea Weber got traded to the Canadiens, I remember myself saying this. I hated the fact that PK Subban was leaving the Canadiens, but I was so happy that Shea Weber was coming to the Canadiens.
Yeah.
And I stand by that to this day. I love them both. Yeah. I wish both of them were on the Canadiens because we might have had an even better chance of winning. Mm-hmm. But that's wishful thinking. But no, man, I was just so happy to see, like former teammates that were there for him. Marc Bergevin was there. The members of the Nashville Predators were there, and and he thanked the Montreal Canadiens organization and the Montreal fan base. And dude, like, fuck, I'm so happy for him, too. Like, I'm happy for Jeremy Roenick too. He gave such an amazing speech. Like, really a heartfelt speech. Like, you have to go watch it. And I got to give a shout out to Pavel Datsyuk, who probably had the best hands in all of hockey, who scored probably the nicest goals that we'll see in NHL history. Pavel Datsyuk, like, we all love Alexei Kovalev, think he had the hands of God, who almost did, but Datsyuk was a notch above Kovalev. And man, go watch his highlights. More consistent. Go watch his highlights. But dude, not just that. Not only did he score these highlight goals, but he was like the best two-way centerman before Patrice Bergeron, in my opinion. Like, dude, there's so many times he won. Oh my God, what's the? Oh my God, I can't believe the Selke Trophy.
Selke, yeah,
yeah. Like Bergeron deserved all of those, but like, dude, Pavel Datsyuk, like, just the hands, the highlights that he scored. Like, I don't know if there's going to be anybody else like him. I personally don't.
So I don't think so either. Well,
so all that to say, but to all the inductees,
Demi Dog was coming up, but we'll see.
Let's go! Oh my God, I can't wait! Oh my God, I can't wait to see Debbie Dov next year. Like, he's going to be NHL right next year. He's doing well as dude. Oh, but like, he's going to be that piece that we need. Oh my God, that dynamic forward that we need. But. Yeah. Listen, the Canadiens are where they are right now. Listen, we'll take the win. Hopefully that sparks confidence in them. The Canadiens are heading into the Minnesota Wild territory Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So it's going to be a bit of a late game. Hopefully we're still have enough energy and awake enough to come with you with a post-game show. That is TBD, to be determined within the Curfew Boys. Zook. That's all I got for you, buddy. I think you should get back to work, and I have to get ready for work.
Love it. Yeah.
I have to get ready for the night shift tonight. So, gotta go protect. Yeah. Listen, to all our viewers on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. It's absolutely free. Tell your friends about us. Let's spread the word about this so-called love of Habs, or so-called love of the Canadiens. Are we Tankathon supporting, or are we in the mix supporting? Are we in between the two like I am? Let's win, but still get the first overall pick according to Tankathon. I mean, who knows? Let's see what happens. There's still tons of hockey left. We also want to thank you for tuning in on either Apple Podcast, Spotify, or any podcast platform. Thank you very much. Please give us an honest rating and review. It's the only way we can feel the love. Zook, thanks again for your time. Really appreciate this.
Anytime.
And we'll talk during the Canadiens Minnesota game. To everybody else, until next time. Bye now. Good night.